Shalom, shalom, shalom. Lord willing, y'all can hear me. Mm, Bear with me for real quick. Bear with me real quick. I'm gonna start in a few seconds. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory and all honor to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elders that have been paving the way, teaching the sincere milk, the parables, the dark sayings, the prophecies of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Definitely starting with Elder Tahara on down. They've been ruling well, man, through the spirit, right? And definitely mighty shalom to the wives out there that's constantly being loving and silent wives, constantly trying to work on being a virtuous wife, even for the single sisters and the young mighty men that's ruling well through the spirit. You know, Lord willing, the Most High continue to push you in this ministry and in truth, you know, and to be sincere. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the ministry, right? So we're gonna bring out, Lord willing, this edifying discernment. Discernment is well needed. Discernment on good decisions. Discernment on teaching. Discernment on who you're watching. Um, what you receive, right? Because whatever you receive is what you get. But we have to make discernment. You know, the ability to judge well, the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is secure, right? We have to have the ability to judge well on what we should be watching. Just like how brothers say, Salaki, eat the meat and spit out the bone. Um, Even for myself, you know, coming to ministry, boom, 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 watch a few people coming out with the saying the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, coming around people saying Yahuwah, Yeshua, Yahweh, even when it comes to doctrine. Because when we say you got the truth, it comes with prophecies, parables, and dark sayings, and of course the sincere milk. A lot of people's prophecies, dark sayings is not lining up accordingly. So how can they fully have the truth? You have to discern. You have to have discernment, because when you teach, you want to make sure you're leading people in the correct way, and discernment on making the right choices. So we're just gonna hop right into it. Lord willing, like I say, Lord willing, like I always say, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm gonna share my screen. If you got any precepts, you could definitely drop them down. If you have any questions, you could definitely ask. I'm gonna try to stay in tune as much as I can with whatever anybody is saying. So please bear with me. I'm going to use the blue letter. I'm going to try to use my other devices to actually see if anybody's asking questions or not. I can't really see each joint that well. So I'm gonna try. So I'm going to go to the first verse. We're gonna go to First Corinthians, the second chapter. The First Corinthians, the second chapter. We're gonna start at verse 14. Can everybody hear me though? I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Actually, I just checked. 14. Oh yeah, okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all, I can hear me. Okay. So First Corinthians, the second chapter, verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not, and I'm gonna bring the scripture out again, right? Later on. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned, right? That is kind of plain, right? A natural man or woman is not going to receive spiritual things, let alone if we're having a conversation with men and women about the Bible. If they're a worldly man, a worldly woman, a lukewarm person, they're not going to receive the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai. They're not going to receive the comforter of Yahweh Shai, because the spirit of Yahweh Shai is going to come upon you for you to understand the scriptures, right? For they are foolish unto them, right? And this is why the Lord is putting people where they need to be in the so-called ministry, right? Because some people are in a different level of understanding, right? Some people are in the milk. Some people can't fathom the whole loaf of bread or the meat. Some people want to just jump in the meat, but they never had the milk, right? And then when you get to the meat, some things is going to be so confusing because you never devoured the milk, right? And that leads me to Galatians, the 5th chapter, the 25th verse. It says, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So in order for you to understand the scriptures, you can't be a natural man. You can't be a man that cleaves to the world and then part-time you're serving the Lord. No, you got to be all hands deck, right? I want the spirit to be fully grasped upon me, and I have to be rechanged. First, I was blind like Paul, and I have to come to the conclusion of the real name of Yahweh Shem Shai and be willing to put down my strongholds, to be willing to put down distractions. Being on Facebook too much, IG, watching useless TV shows or movies, right? Anything that's not going to make you run back to the Bible or run back to go to knowledge or build you increase is going to make your damn brain a damn puddle. As soon as somebody teach something, you just think the shit is oh so good, right? We got to live and walk of the spirit to even discern if we're receiving the righteous information, right? So let's go to First John, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse. Oh, Salaki, I'm over here. I'm over here doing something else, right? So First John, 4th chapter, verse 1. It says, beloved, believe every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out of the world. So I'm gonna talk about being in the world, but this is for if you are coming to serve the Lord, if you're coming to get in the ministry, know who you are, know who your power is, know who Hamashiach Yahushua is. If you have a desire for that, you have to come in this thing not believing every spirit. What I mean is the spirit that every man or every woman is dealing with, but you want to try the spirit, see what their doctrine about. Like when I was building with certain sisters of Corinth or brothers, I hear them talk about God and see what name they use. Is they using Yeshua or Yahweh, Yahweh, right? Okay, they're using Yahweh. Okay, I see you, brother. All right, let's deal with the laws. Let's deal with the prophets and the apostles. God, I might hear a brother say, "Oh man, I don't deal with Mark," or I might, I don't deal with the New Testament, but I deal with some of it. Oh, nope. I can't even sharpen my sword with you. If I can't sharpen my sword from you, how can I learn from you? Right? Coming in this ministry, you have to try the spirit, whether they are of God, right? Because there's many false prophets. You got to try me too by my milk, right? I mean, by my fruit. You can look at my family, see how my kids. I actually go look at both of my wives' Facebook page and see how they move. Is it negativity? Is they purely the stuff that's going on in the household? Okay, it might show that the house is structured, right? See how I move day to day. Do I show it on social media? Am I showing my fruit? Am I showing my teaching um, daily? You can go on my social media or go on the social media of others, and not just only me. You got to do this with elders, captains, bishops, little soldiers, brothers that just come in here and say, how about Shema Shai, and they trying to teach you. You still have to try the spirit if it is of God or of the world, right? Let's go to Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, in the 8th verse. It says, for thus saith Yahweh of armies of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets or diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams, which ye cause to be dreamed, right? And wait, from they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith Yahweh. There's a lot of people saying the name of Yahweh Shema Shai and prophesying falsely. I'm just being exact. Scriptures say the mark of the beast, and you can clearly see that it's physical. And if you go a little deeper on it, somebody might switch and say it's spiritual or physical. Hey, if you accept it or if you don't, hey, that's not on me. That would be falsely. That would be falsely prophesied. Don't analyze what I'm saying. Let's just wait. Let's just see when this comes out. Even when you look at the scriptures, when it comes out and they're already promoting something physical and we're saying something else, that would be false. Let alone if we're prophesying the Revelation, Romans, the 11th chapter, and we might say half of it or part of that chapter is dealing with the other nations and then the rest is Israel. No, that whole chapter is dealing with Israel. You can't take away from it and then put certain good parts and say these is the other nations, because it's going to bring confusion, right? We have to make sure when we teach in the scriptures, even if you don't know, that's why it's called sharpening your sword. Go to somebody else that's been in this thing longer than you. Go to somebody that's been studious in this thing that can actually go bit by bit with you, let alone neither hearken to your dreams. A lot of us dream dreams, right? But a lot of us is not cleaving to the scriptures to see if it even adds on. Some of our dreams is bogus, right? Some of the dreams can just be you've been meditating so much on Jacob's trouble or this prophecy or this, that you've been meditating, thinking about it so much that is pondering in your mind, right? I have dreams of Jacob trouble. I have dreams of seeing my one of my children or me getting shot or stabbed. That's just a dream, but I'm not about to just go out and shoot. But hey, who am I? The Lord will put a spirit on you. Put a spirit on you. You never know. It'll be that time where the Lord will have your our kids, our sons and our daughters will be have dreams and will prophesy dreams and dreams, right? They'll be prophesied. A whole lot of spiritual things is going to happen, you know, especially in this time, especially in the next year, especially in the year after that. Right now it's up, right? And it's not the time to be slacking, right? You got to really observe. You got to really observe who you're receiving the ministry from, right? Or correction, direction, right? This is Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 4. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, right? Right? You got to take heed that no man deceive you. Let alone the 5th verse, it will show you that many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So let alone we see in these scriptures, there's going to be people coming in the name of Hamashiach, deceiving people. It's going to be people coming in the name of the apostles or saying that they're prophets on the earth, and they might deceive you, right? They can deceive, just like you go into, say, trick or treat. Somebody can give you candy, but they can deceive you by showing you it's candy, but they probably opened up the wrapper and licked the candy, or they probably put a damn drug in there. You know what I'm saying? You have to know these teaching scriptures is more dangerous than Esau. Teaching the scriptures falsely is more dangerous than Esau, because you can have 1,000 people following this man that's teaching wrong. And even though Esau is doing him, the man that is teaching you falsely is going to lead you into a ditch. Your whole purpose is to serve the Lord. So if somebody is using the real sword of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and using it in a deceiving way, he is more worse than Esau. I don't care how you see it. Any man using the word in a deceivable way, using it in a malicious, in an evil way, you are worser than freaking Esau, man. Right? Let's go to First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. Well, and this is going to be a quick lesson, right? First Thessalonians 5:21, it say, "Prove all things and hold fast to which is good." You know, and brothers always bring this out fluently. When you're proving all things, you want to make sure is you're proving it with scriptures, right? And you're not adding your emotions and feelings, right? Sometimes some brothers might go 20 scriptures, but usually when it goes into actual scriptures, you don't need more than 3 precepts just to prove what this scripture is going into. Now, if you can't understand it with 3 precepts, 4 precepts, 5 precepts, 10 precepts, then you have to understand the Lord, the Lord did not give you enough understanding in your minds for you to even be able to comprehend that. You might not be filled with the spirit of understanding, right? The Lord probably only got you as the Lord probably only got you dealing with the milk right now. Because if you can't understand something that's plain upon tables and the joint is going over your head, that is your Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Let's go to Revelations, the 2nd chapter, verse 2. It says, "I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and have found them liars." Right? So I know it was some people in the few past, I'm not going to say no names, where it could be some people say, "Hey, yo, watch out who you honor as your elder." Hey, that's cool and all. But the Lord tells you got to watch and you got to try the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see how a man is moving, let alone if a man is teaching something, and say if he is wrong. Maybe I didn't get to see it, but if I see somebody else talking about it, and say if that man goes back later on, a year, a month, a day, a week, and he goes back and correct what he says. Come on. It's that I don't see a lot of people that prophesy and they probably was wrong and they recorrect it. You know what I'm saying? From a man's milk, from the people that come into his congregation, right? That he been feeding, you can see how they grew in the truth, right? Is anybody that's underneath or beside these people that's teaching this truth, are they adding a new thing? Is they taking away? Is everybody from the least all the way up to the greatest speaking the same thing, right? So for me and myself, yes, I see the elders in Great Millstone as the apostles. If I can see into my modern time right now, that's really sincere. And when you look at Paul and the apostles back then, they were studious. Not only just doing sit down, going out to the street in the highways and byways, which you should be doing, right? These men is even going down and doing sit down lessons because the ministry is a continuous flowing ministry. It don't never stop. You don't never see the ocean or the river calm. When I say calm, that thing ain't never moving. Like I can go get me some water in the sink, sit it down, don't move nothing on the floor. You won't see no ripples, right? That's calm still. No, I don't want that. You want to be in a ministry where it's constantly moving. You're always learning, even if it's the least or the greatest thing, the hardest or the easiest thing, right? These men is constantly feeding the flock. So how can I look at them and say, hey, these brothers is liars, if the number one thing that I never was seeking was Revelations the 13th chapter. But when it came a time where me and my brothers I labor with is speaking about Revelations the 13th chapter, as soon as I see it before brothers break it down, oh, that has to be physical. I think it's physical and spiritual. Not the mark is physical, but the image is spiritual, right? Then brothers start bringing it out, and then they breaking it down. I didn't see an elder. I seen my brothers breaking it down. I'm like, wait, hold on. I see it. I see it this way. What are the precepts you got? Boom. Then they say, hey, let's see what the elders say. Their brothers put on a elder from GMS, Elder Apostle Gabal, or Elder Tahar, or Rimlab, or another brother. And this man is saying the same thing that we all was just saying on the feast day. What? Oh, these brothers ain't lying because I see it. I'm trying it by the Spirit, and my spirit is recognition. Before I heard him say it, and I see it myself. Wait, hold on. This got to be the solid fact truth of this scripture right here, man. Right? So you got to try every man by the Spirit and what he working with, man. Even me, even if you like me teaching, you got to try me. Try me. You heard? Right? Let's go to Acts, the 20th chapter. The 20th chapter, the 30th verse. Right? Right? And I'm gonna read this in the NLT. Right? KJV. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them. Right? So the NLT, Acts, the 20th chapter, verse 30. Even some men from your own group will rise up and distort the truth in order to draw a following. You hear me? Let's see what this word distort is. Right? This said distort. Let's see what this word distort means. Where was it at? Oh, dang. They trying to do me dirty on it. Hold on, y'all. Let's see if it do it now. Nope. It's not going to give it to me. So if it's not going to give it to me, I'll do it this way. Distort. It means to pull or twist out of shape, right? Misrepresent. So you're going to have brothers twist or misrepresent the ministry, man, right? You're going to have men distort, twist, right? Disrepresent the truth in order to draw a following. And this is where we might have a Yaju, or we might have some nigga that's in a camp to make other people feel good. Hey, let's just call the Lord Yahweh, or Yeshua, Yeshua, or Yah, or Shalom, right? There's a lot of men and there's women that is twisting the scriptures. Let alone people might twist it and say, oh, this is why we got to go read the book of Enoch or read the book of Jasper, right? A lot of us is twisting the truth in order to draw a following. Some brothers might believe in the mark, but they might, oh, you know what? Let's to bring more followers. Let's do a unity camp together. But let alone, when you really look at it in the longevity, it's still going to be confusion. Because if you have a fire teacher over here that might not see the mark of the beast or see Cornelius as an Israelite, and then you over here, you believe he is an Israelite and you believe in the mark of the beast, but y'all come together and say if the people that's watching, they like him as a good teacher, but they really like him as a teacher. They're following him, but it's him. But it's one thing. They're writing down all the breakdowns on this side, writing all the breakdowns on this side. You cannot put these together. You might sincere melt. Maybe the law, statute, commandments you can put together, but when it comes to the prophecies, they're gonna always hit each other. It's gonna always hit each other. It's supposed to be smooth, right in the damn middle. And the Lord is not an author of confusion. So if men is teaching one thing over here and over here, how can it be unity, right? Let me see if I can find the word unity. Unity, a bond of unity between Judah. Okay, so that's in the context. Wait, what is going on? Let's get a KJV. Damn. Okay. Let's see. How good and how pleasant is it for brethren to dwell together in unity? Okay, so that's kind of in the same context too. Okay, so unity. Let me see. Let's see what unity is together in the dang it.
Strong's H3162. Yachad. Yachad.
Yahad. So together, unity is going into a union, unitedness, together, all together, alike. Both likewise, all together withheld. It said alike. 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 And if we teach in two different things, we're not alike. Right? First Timothy, the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter, the first verse. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the later times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Right now, just as the whole of a whole ministry, leaving the faith as a whole, a lot of brothers do leave the faith. They leave the faith, they start losing the Hebrew, they start losing that Shalaki, the fire, and they start giving heed to seducing spirits, right? Doctrines of devils, they start cleaving to other philosophies. Now, if we was to talk about leaving a camp, right? A Pacific camp. Now, some camps and brothers, oh, you getting sifted out the truth. Now, you might be with Great Millstone that might be pushing 100% authentic, straight natural truth. You lead them, now you departing from the actual faith, right? If you grasp, if you walking with the apostles in your house, let alone you in the right place to be, right? Being around a studious man, you know what I'm saying? Especially somebody that came from a terrible side, and the Lord had mercy on him, put him through a certain tribulation, and then brought him back into the fold, right? Coming in this truth, you have to be willing to yield to authority, and by putting your pride aside, putting your proudness aside, and becoming humble, being willing to learn, being retaught. And sometimes if I can't understand something, if I don't see it, even myself, I go to the Lord because I believe the Lord is the one that put the stumbling block. The Lord is the one to make you be confused, to not understand it. And I believe that be the Lord, while we always will be hitting heads with each other. It's the Spirit. Because I believe I don't have control of my own body, and I still haven't mastered my heart yet. And I know the Lord is searching the heart. So if he know my heart is not in tune, especially if I'm not studying enough, if I don't care enough, the Lord is going to be the reason why I don't receive it. Some brothers might be studious, but little do you know, brothers can be as studious as they can be. They could probably be one of the best teachers in Israel. And some brothers might not show it, but through the Spirit, they have a big head. Right? But hey, the Lord is always moving brothers where they need to be, man. Some brothers is too prideful. Some brothers might not want to be under a leader. It's just so many things why the Lord put brothers where they need to be. Some people like, oh, why can't we just all come together? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the one that's going to make that happen, right? That's why you have to endure it. Right now, a lot of us can't even be kings right now because a lot of us are still envious towards one another, right? Second Peter, the second chapter, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, as in back then, even as today. Even as there shall be false teachers among you. That is a fact. Who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying Yahweh Shem Shai that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Right? There's a lot of people that's going to deny saying Yahweh Shem Shai. There's going to be a lot of people denying the actual truth. It's some people that even know who really is pushing this ministry or who actually doing an actual phenomenal job. They just push those brothers under the rug. Yo, I respect brothers that actually is doing exhortations. Let alone this ministry is not for only people in the truth. It is for people out the truth. Let alone people that slowly want to come in, people that just came in and they knew, right? This ministry is not for ones that are the physician that think they got all the precepts, they got all the breakdown. If you got it all, guess what? This same lesson is for you too, because you have to discern yourself to understand, should you really be moving with a prideful spirit? A lot of us say, oh, I'm better than you, I'm better than that. Man, clap, clap, bravo to you. But how can we really say that's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Right? This is about just teaching the ministry and doing it in truth. Stay in your lane. It's elders, regardless if they not in the truth. If they is, see an elder the other day walking, he is an elder. But if we talk about this ministry, and when you look in the past, it's you got elders, man, elders that's really in this thing. You got priests that's really in this thing. You got soldiers really in this thing. Captains really in this thing. Bishops, deacons really in this thing, right? And the ones that's really in this thing is constantly feeding the flock. They ain't taking breaks off, right? And if they is taking a break, it might seem to you, but they just taking a break to read and build another lesson. The men of the Lord is going to always be occupied in the ministry. I know men that's so occupied in the ministry, they don't watch TV. That does not mean he don't have a good time. He don't have life. I might see these brothers. I might see this brother, and we might go step out, might get a drink, or might go bowling or go do something. But this man, oh, I'm not gonna be distracted with TV too much. All this man is doing is working, reading, working, reading. Yes, he might play the game here and there, but it's always work, reading, reading. Oh, you know what? You want to go outside and teach? You want to go do a video? The men of the Lord is gonna always have their face in the face of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, regardless if you believe it or don't accept it. I don't see it no other way. I know the hopeful elect is going to really be in the ministry more than anything. They ain't gonna want to be here, right? This is Hebrews, the 5th chapter, verse 11 to 14 in the New Living. It says, there is much more we would like to say about this, but it is difficult to explain, especially since you are spiritually dull and don't seem to listen. And there's a lot of men in Israel that are spiritually dull and they don't really want to listen. You'll be talking and it look like they is, but that shit going in wearing out the other. They even might talk about you when they leave. Or whatever you talked about, they ain't going. Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Anytime I hear the word, if I'm watching it or I just hear a brother speak on it, it puts a fire in me and make me want to go do a lesson. It's an honest fact. When you in the spirit, you ready to go give a man an answer, teach, whatever. That's what the spirit does. It says you have been believers so long now that you ought to be teaching others, right? Instead, you need someone to teach you again the basic things about God's word. And it's a lot of men and women that need to be retaught the basics again, right? And guess what? I don't even mind hearing the basic again, right? Because it's going to sharpen my sword. I read it, and brothers was doing lessons on it. Shoot, I wouldn't mind going over it again. It says you are like babies who need milk and cannot eat solid food, just like my newborn. A lot of brothers hop to the solid food and say, I don't need milk. Show me a baby that come out the Karuchi and say, no, mom, I want a steak. No, that's not happening. They can't even break it down with their teeth because they ain't got none. right? It says, for someone who lives on milk is still an infant and doesn't know how to do what is right, right? That's why my daughter is touching everything. You see something on the floor, oh, let me eat it. She don't know if it's good or bad, right? It say solid food is for those who are mature, right? Mature in the ministry, who've been through certain things, that deal with pridefulness, brothers being envious, brothers being jealous, dealing with strife, right? Dealing with false accusations, dealing with false prophecy, right? You got to be mature in order to handle the meat, who through training have the skills to recognize the difference between right and wrong. In order to know what's right and wrong, dealing with the scriptures, you have to be trained in the ministry. That's why the Lord say, study to approve thyself, right? In order to draw cursive, in order to dance, in order to be a sewer, you have to practice. You have to train yourself to know how to sew clothes, right? First Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, first verse to 2. It says, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, right? But as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. Just like what we read first in First Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, verse 14. I could not speak to you unto you as spiritual. And a lot of our brothers, we can't speak to them spiritual, but carnal. I can go around some of my family. We can talk about sports, games, the battle, money, job, women, but we can never talk spiritual. It just, oh, so how the brothers doing? Y'all still doing y'all thing? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, yo, man, God, yo, dad, you know, you was bringing out that verse, boom, 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 boom. It's not gonna be, hey, yo, son, I got a question, or let me learn this, or a cousin or a niece. They're all on social media. They know where I am, right? Let alone friends that's in the world. Hey guys, but we don't never have a spiritual conversation. And that's how you know how the ministry is. This is why you got to try the spirit by the spirit. Even ones that say, oh, Hebrew Israelite, Yahweh Shai, some of them brothers is not really trying to really teach. They just, yeah, I just want to be a Hebrew Israelite. I seen a brother that is in the truth. This man's smoking weed. Now, I was one of those brothers too, you know, but I'm glad the Lord put a spirit on the brother. Yo, bro, you got to put that down. And this is what we need. We need brothers to be told. A lot of our brothers in the truth, coming in the truth, not in the truth. Some of y'all are still carnal. Relationship is in a shamble. You put your relationship on social media. You're not with that girl. Some brothers be acting on social media, I'm in the truth, but they really not. They might be posting guns. They might be with this girl. They ain't wearing fringes. Man, it's a lot of phonies, man. It said, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. Right? You can always feed somebody damn milk, right? And they could keep drinking it, getting strong and healthy. Guess what? They still might not be ready for that meat. And guess what? It could be 5, it could be a year, it could be 2, it could be 3, and they still might not be ready for it, man. Right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, verse 13 to 15. It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. It's men out here, they became little shalom, shalom. They became little soldiers in the truth, and out of nowhere they changed that, oh, I'm the apostle of Hamashiach. But that goes by looking at their works, right? Verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So now you have to look at the action. If Satan could come as an angel of light, then that means it could be a prophet or apostle coming in his truth, looking like light, but it could be a damn demon. And it goes by how he's teaching, let alone how he's walking, right? How he walked in this ministry. I'm definitely not about to say the apostles in Great Millstone is a damn they demons. There's nowhere I'm going to say that because I've been fed. Yes, they'll tell brothers, yo, don't go on Facebook. They're structured. But if we talk about prophets, it's some brothers out here that say they prophets and they not. It is some brothers that's not in this type of ministry that say they is in the ministry and they call their self apostles. It's pastors calling themselves bishops and deacons and no, you're a freaking damn lie. 15 to say, therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, who end shall be according to their works, right? Whose end shall be according to his work. If we're serving the Lord in truth and in sincerity, what can our end be? The kingdom. If we're ruling on righteousness and wickedness, right, on our own behalf, what we gonna get? What our end gonna be? Death, destruction, condemnation, right? These are the things we got to really be pondering on, because when you pick up this Bible, you got to really choose. You got to really choose how you're gonna be teaching, truth or falsely. Or sometimes we can actually know the truth and we decipher through it. Like, you know what? I ain't gonna get a lot of followers for this. So how about we lead this out, right? First Corinthians, the second chapter, verse 14. But people who aren't spiritual, this is a New Living Translation. People who aren't spiritual can't receive these truths from God's spirit, right? People who aren't spiritual, that's why they're not going to understand. Excuse me if you don't accept it, or if you do, clap clap bravo. How can you really say you spiritual if you're going to argue with yourself about the damn mark of the beast, man? Or any other scripture that is exact to what it is, man? Right? Truth and nail, man. How can I say that you are a spiritual person, man? You can't even receive the truth of the Most High. The truth of the Most High is his whole doctrine, not partial. It's the whole doctrine, baby. It all sounds foolish to them, and they cannot understand it. For only those who are spiritual can understand what the spirit means, right? And that's where it goes into that Galatians 5 and 25. Live and walk of the spirit. The Lord gives freely to any man. It's verse 15. It says, those who are spiritual can evaluate all things, but they themselves cannot be evaluated by others. Why? Because they're of the spirit. Only another man is gonna have to come back and say, look at one of the prophets or apostles and look at him spiritually and be like, yo, this is the truth, right? But if you ain't got a spirit on, of course you're gonna say niggas is wicked. Brothers is bringing out everything in the Bible, man. And at the end of the day, just because I hear anybody bring it out, I don't care what congregation. If I see you bring it out, I'm gonna go to it, and I see it. Hey, you probably was going to the right place. You was doing your thing, but then you probably brought out the wrong scripture, and then you lost me there. Hey, the Lord did that to me, man. He allowed me to be like, that's not with me. Hey, I put it in the Lord's hand because you gotta acknowledge Him in good and bad. If you teaching a certain way and I'm not seeing it and it's really plain, it's not. And guess what? You could give me 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 precepts. I should be able to get it. I'm not stupid. I know what 2 plus 2 is. I know algebra. So it shouldn't take you more than 5 precepts to get me to understand for any man or any woman. But let alone say I would still have to evaluate myself. Right? Now, say if it is one of these elders from Great Millstone and he teaching and I'm not getting it, I'm gonna have to say maybe I might not be in the spirit. After I'm just saying, I am a baby to watching the elders of Great Millstone, and ever since I watched each breakdown or each video, each one hit me from the head to the toe. Right? It's certain videos I've seen of brothers. Now, I didn't go to every unit in the world to watch breakdowns, like breakdowns of like the Covenant, Mark of the Beast, the Hour of Temptation, Cornelius, um, the Mixed Multitude. Like I'm talking about real prophets, like real breakdowns. I don't go to every camp to look for breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, I want to build up my faith. So going out in the street, I watch a lot of camps for faith, right? To build up my faith. going out in the street doing what I was doing. I wanted to be popular in the world doing what I was doing. Now teaching the Bible, people look at me as a Bible thumper. So when I get in this truth, I want to watch brothers go out in the street. Okay, now I want to see brothers do sit downs, just bringing out the Bible in a house, in a church, it don't matter. I want to see brothers bringing it out. That helped me build up faith. So now, me finally watching the elders teach, I watched their breakdowns because my whole time being in the truth for 4 or 5 years, I wasn't watching camp breakdowns. I'm being honest, right? I had to build up my faith being in Christianity so bad. I had to build up my faith and I felt so excited. So now I'm so strong and built it. I'm looking at the spirit and I want to be taught the breakdowns. And I'm already in my bag. But that's why I'm just saying it comes a long way when you try the spirit by the spirit and not trying to learn from everybody, because everybody don't have the same understanding. Not everybody is given the same spirit of understanding. I want to learn from somebody where because those who are spiritual can evaluate all things, but they themselves cannot be evaluated by themselves. If I can't evaluate somebody that's fully spiritual, hey, that's who I want to learn from, because the ones that's spiritual, those are the ones you want to connect with. Those are the ones you want to have to be your role model. That's somebody you want to be like in the spirit, not the flesh. Through the whatever spirit that person got, I want it so that I'll be able to plant seeds, right? Lord willing, that was, understandable. We almost done, y'all. We almost out of here. This is Colossians, the second chapter, verse 8. It says, do not let, oh, wait, Salaki, I want to change that. Verse 8, it say, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. And that's what we going by, you watching too many teachers, and they could probably have two different understandings, especially when it comes to breakdowns. They say after tradition of men, after the rule of the world, and not after Hamashiach, right? You want to be making sure you watching somebody that's actually following Yahweh Shem Shai, let alone somebody that is saying the actual name, right? 1 Corinthians 14th chapter, verse 33. It reads, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. So anybody teaching something that is confusion, I want you to know God is not the author of confusion. So you should be evaluating yourself. Me, even myself, somebody inboxed me, yo, brother, I'm confused. That's why it's beautiful to have when you do a video and people can comment, or somebody can inbox you and be like, hey, I was confused. You ain't gonna never, how will I know? Or unless a brother that I'm laboring with, like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, what you saying ain't right. That's how I'm gonna know that that's from the Lord. When my Akim hit me up and like, yo, bro, you keep saying Christ. His name not Christ, his name is Hamashiach Yahushai. Oh, yep, that had to be the Lord, right? Because I had a problem with that, man. I even had a problem with knowing how to say the Lord's name, that I kept slipping saying Christ a lot, right? And that's not his name. And to edify the flock, you got to give him the real name, and it's going to bring them say, yo, wait, is you serving another God? Wait, what is his name? Are you a Muslim? That's going to bring a question, and you are able to give them the answer. You can't be ashamed on calling the name of the Lord. So I had to constantly say it when I'm not on camera. Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. Or when I'm reading the word, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. And brothers had to correct me. I needed that. I wanted it. I accepted, right? Because it still could be confusing. People might think I'm IUIC. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be an author of confusion, let alone when you labor with brothers and you want y'all all to be teaching one thing. Because say if a person they see all of y'all teaching, and they go to one person and say this man is teaching a woman is a guy, and then that person by accident the next day, hey yo, bro, is you around? Can I ask you a question? And that brother not around, like, oh no, just go to my other brother and then go ask him a question. He asked him a question, and it would almost revolve on this question. And he's like, yeah, Yahweh Shem Shai is the guy. Wait, hold on, whoa, you say Yahweh Shem Shai is the guy, but the other dude that labor with you, he said a woman is a guy. That would be confusion. So it's all about us all speaking one thing, especially the brothers that labor with each other. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand if all my brothers is saying, uh, all praise to the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai and giving double honors to the elders in Great Millstone. If I'm all adding all the other elders, we all sound like a whole bunch of confusion because you got one oddball, right? And what did the Lord do? In I believe it's Joshua. I'm gonna actually go to it, right? Joshua, the 22nd chapter, or was it the 21st? So lucky, y'all. Let me make sure. Okay, it was. So lucky. So the 22nd chapter, verse 20, it says, "Did not Achan the son of Zerah commit a trespass in a cursed thing?" You have to go to Joshua, the 6th and 7th chapter, right? Because they were going in Jericho, and the Lord said, "Don't take anything out of Jericho. If you do, it's going to be a curse." Achan, dumbass, excuse my language, he took a Babylonian garment and silver and gold shackles and hid it in his damn tent. So he put a curse upon himself and upon the whole congregation. It says, "And wrath fell on all the congregation of Israel, and that man perished not alone in his iniquity." So I really brought this out to show you, if I'm the eyeball saying all the elders, it's going to stick out like, come on, bro, you're bringing in confusion, right? Because these brothers is doing that. And that's when it goes with the ministry. I can't be teaching, doing a unity camp with somebody that don't have the same understanding, because he can slip that out of nowhere and it's going to become confusion. So I had to correct myself and be like, you know what? Hey, I give respect where respect is due. The Lord was moving elders in a certain way and bringing them in the ministry. Oh, they teach it falsely. Hey, I'm not even giving honor to that. I'm giving honor to the simple fact that the Lord moved the elders in a certain way to bring forth in the ministry, in the world, so that we can start saying Yahweh Shema Shai, so we can get back to book, chapter, verse, so we can get back to going on the highways and byways and feeding the flock, so we can go back to pleasing the Lord. I understand that. So for me, I have to be humble and be like, you know what? You can't get in this thing to please man. You got to please the Lord. So by that, regardless if anybody care or accept it, hey, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, starting with Elder Tahar on down, that have been teaching the sincere milk, the parables, the dark sayings, and the prophecies, pushing 100% of the Lord's doctrine to the best of their ability, regardless if you accept it or not, man, right? But Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters, right? That's not in the faith, but Lord willing, the hopeful elect that is out here trying to teach the sincere doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shai, Lord willing, He allow you to increase, right? And I'm just using that as an example for myself and for anybody else. You have to have a discernment, let alone you have to be willing to be corrected, because you can have discernment and somebody can be teaching something and then you go and grasp that and you start teaching somebody that has that spirit on them. They might say, yo, brother, hey, I'm just telling you out of love. Yo, you going wrong. You got to be humble and take that. You understand? One more thing. One time I'm doing a video, fire. A brother from Great Millstone that I did not know. I don't know this man. This man inboxed me, my brother, I like what you're doing. Yo, you doubling up, man. Please keep feeding the flock. Keep feeding the flock, man. I like your mind frame. I like your spirit. But it's just one thing you gotta fix, man. Stop saying Christ. And I started laughing. I'm like, you know what? Yo, thank you for that. He said, yo, in your other video, you was saying his name. It's just this new video you did. You was moving. I guess you was just in the spirit. You was moving to that and you just slipped and said it. So I understand, but I love you, brother. And I like what you're doing. And I want, you know what I'm saying? I want nothing but increase to come into your life. When he said that, it made me feel good, because for somebody to take the time out their life to want to correct you while you're in the ministry or out of the ministry, you got to take hold of that so you can grasp it and hurry up and fix it. Because if you don't hurry up and fix it, it's going to be too late. So I love that brother, and that showed brotherly love that he reached his hand down while I'm down here saying Christ and lift me up, man. That shit made me feel good, right? Correction is a way to direct you. That is not to overpower you, to look down on you. A brother corrects you, that shows love. Niggas like, oh, he think he better. No, that's love, nigga. Right? So discernment is real. especially if you calling the Lord Yah or your hoo-hoo, right? You need to be corrected. And you have to have the willpower to accept it as a man. You saying Yah, you're calling the Most High He. And Ezekiel said, I am jealous for the Lord. So you got to be jealous for the Lord. Somebody calling your power Yah. No, I'm nope. This is First Timothy, the 6th chapter. We're gonna start at verse 3 to 6. New Living Translation, and say some people may contradict our teaching, which they do, right? But these are the wholesome teachings of Yahweh Shema Shai. This is the teaching of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. These teachings promote a godly life, right? And if we was to go through the loins of what the apostles, when you go to Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, the 20th verse, it shows you it's built on the foundations of the apostles and prophets. These teachings promote a godly life. Anyone who teaches something different is arrogant and lack understanding. So I'm saying out of that wholesome, if you're teaching anything outside that is arrogant, lacking understanding, and I just use myself as a if I'm teaching something different, if I keep giving double honors, or if I'm teaching the market spiritual and not physical, I'm arrogant and I lack the understanding. And I accept it if I am doing that, right? Anybody else have to accept that, let alone if you are in your own congregation and y'all teaching whatever y'all teaching, your whole congregation teach what y'all teach, but be in unity, right? They say such a person has an unhealthy desire to squibble over the meaning of words. This stirs up arguments ending in jealousy, division, slander, evil suspicions. Such a person has an unhealthy desire. He has an unhealthy desire. We're not talking about somebody that has a healthy desire. He has an unhealthy desire to squibble over the meaning of words. So he's going over the word. He's not like getting the meaning of it. He's squibbling over the meaning of words to stir up arguments, ending in jealousy, division, slander, evil suspicion. That's why the homology of words is good, because you could say a word and it can mean something else in that context, right? And in this ministry, you don't want to arguments is going to happen. A debate is a damn argument, but it's a discourse. When it's dealing with Yah, what thus saith the Lord, you want to be in that type of argument, right? And it's truth. We don't want to have jealousy, but it comes with it, especially with Judah in the northern kingdom, especially with brothers in congregation. I'm a soldier. I want to be an elder. Then division. Brothers might separate, or they might have division with doctrine, slander, evil suspicions, right? It says these people always cause trouble. Their minds are corrupt, and they have turned their backs on the truth, right? If we go look at the book of Acts, you will see a lot of men that sit in Moses' seat. Their minds are corrupt. They cause trouble, right? We out here trying to be sincere. Y'all want brothers to get killed just because they say in the blood of Hamashiach Yahushai. You know what? Let me be the light to the Gentiles. A lot of us don't really understand the scriptures because we're not trying to study to approve. We're not trying to be guided. Everybody, I can do it myself. I'm telling you right now, if I don't know, guide me. Acts the 8th chapter, verse 29 to 31. If I don't know something and I ask you, help me to help you to help me understand it, man. Each one teach one. Lord said he would do nothing but reveal the secrets to his prophet. If I ain't got it, you got to have it. If you don't got it, we're going to go to somebody else so we all can get it. Closed mouth don't get fed. I'm not about to sit here and say I get all this understanding on my own. I mean, the level I am where I'm at now, I'm able to go seek this lesson, did it on my own. Didn't do it on my own. I'm teaching it, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not doing it on my own. Let me take that back, Salaki. It's all by the power of Yahweh Shema Shai to even allow me to want to teach, for me to even go to do a lesson. Even though this is a lesson I did before, I added more precepts to it. This lesson came while I was reading Joshua and my brother hit me up. And it was just inspiration. And I turned around and just wanted to do something on discernment. And I paused my reading and I just went straight to teaching. I'm going to say, you know what? That had to be the Lord because this is something good. I might want to go watch Spartacus. I'm going to kick my feet up. But the Lord, like, no, I want you to do this. All praises to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. If the Lord got you doing the same thing, reading, studying, teaching, contemplating, talking about the scriptures. Back to the truth. Verse 5, it says they have turned their back on the truth. And when we go to Jeremiah, the 32nd chapter, verse 33, they have turned the back and not the face. And we've been doing this all the time. And it could be people in the truth that's that's walking in this ministry that will actually turn their back on the Lord. You might not see it. If you're prideful, you're turning your back on the Lord to get unprideful. Right? We want to be, I want to feel like I'm the know-it-all. Or I'm somebody, man. This camp ain't nothing without me. That's that Galatians 6:3. There's a lot of people thinking they something, but they deceiving themselves. You ain't nothing. The Lord is the reason for the season. He's the reason why you have a meaning. Daniel couldn't be who he was if the Lord didn't put him where he was. For him to reveal the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. None of our elders, regardless if I'm saying GMS or if you HOY, you Sakari, wherever your elders at, the Lord did that. If you're a soldier, the Lord did that. The Lord gave you your wife. Hey, if you got a headache as a wife, the Lord did that. It says, a show of godliness is just a way to become wealthy. And that's what a lot of people do. Godliness is just a way to become wealthy. A lot of people use this ministry just to gain money, but they're not trying to gain souls. They're not trying to feed the flock. I'm trying to be a chef in the spirit. Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. True godliness with contentment, it is itself great wealth. But godliness actually is a mean of great gain when accompanied by contentment, man. When it's occupied by contentment, what's the definition of contentment?
Strong's G 841. Austarkaya.
Right. So the biblical usage is a perfect condition of life in which no aid or support is needed. Sufficiency of the necessities of life. A mind contented with its lot. Contentment. A mind contented with its lot. Come on, man. I was playing right there. Right? Yet truly godliness with contentment of what you got, it is itself great wealth, man. That was motivation for me. Right? We're going to go to these last two verses real quick. I was going to go to this one, but I'll just go to Luke instead. This is Luke, 10th chapter, verse 3. And it reads, go your ways, behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. So a lot of us are sheep sent amongst wolves. That's why in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse, if we come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. That's the best thing. That's why I like being in the ministry. Yes, people are like, oh man, why is it different camps? I like it because it shows how the narrow path is so difficult because you really got to decipher which way to go. You could see when we look at Acts, you see apostles, and of course you see the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You see men that are teaching the ministry. You got different varieties, and you could choose go to them, or go to the apostles. And this is what we're looking at today. You could say, you know what, I want to go to DOCC, or I want to go here, or I want to go here. We're living in a time of we're still living in the Old Testament, but when you look at Acts, It's like we live in an X all over again. There's so many different brothers, and especially his brothers over here that might feel like they in Moses' seat. I seen brothers say when you go to camp, you shouldn't even have your shoes on. So you saying in the winter, I gotta take my damn shoes off and be cold, right? Brothers want to use, man, when it comes to actually teaching you in the Lord's house. Wherever you start teaching the word, you in the Lord's house. Hey, I respect that, but for him to say like it started, I'm not seeing that. I wasn't seeing it because if I didn't hear Jeremiah bring that up or Ezra bring that up. I didn't hear Jonah bring that up when he had to cry against the city. We knew he was outside. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm amongst wolves, man. So I always have to make sure I put the armor of Yahabashim Yahushai on. This is why I always try to tell both of my ladies, right? Especially Miss Gabar, if you leave in this house, my kids, of course, they don't know yet. They don't know how to pray or be soaked up in the spirit before they leave. But we're under attack, especially when we choose this word and choose to follow Yahabashim and righteousness. The enemy is going to attack you. If he can't attack you physically, he gonna attack you with other things you deal with: depression, loneliness, health problems, sickness. He's gonna make a problem for you. Guess what? You get sick now. You might not want to read. You got an attitude, so you might lose somebody that get killed. You so emotional. Somebody might, hey, I'm gonna bring out a scripture. I don't want to hear that. Or you be like, yo, you know what? Just sit down. I know you hurt. After you done crying, go read. I don't want to. I don't want to talk to God. Wait. You don't want to do what? You know what I'm saying? Before we go anywhere, before we go anywhere or think about going anywhere, we should be in these scriptures, right? Now, Romans, the 12th chapter, verse 2, and this is going to probably end it, right? It say, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So you got to renew your mind by having good discernment, right? It is a lot of teachers out here that you can learn from, but you want to have discernment when things it's the turn up time. You want to make sure you're receiving the right information so you can go tell your family members so that they can be prepared. Have discernment on the friends you are around. Be more discernment on the sisters that you're around, because I know we trying to build up the sisterhood where brothers sister can relate, but you might have a sister that might, even though polygyny is allowed, but you might have a sister that's plotting on another sister in her mind. Oh, I'm gonna get this girl. You shouldn't even be going like that. Just go and put a man aside and be like, hey, do you accept polygyny? You know what I'm saying? A lot of us is looking at an elder. Oh, I want to take his position. I'm about to make a breakdown about him or whatever. We trying to, man, just teach the word. Stop trying to be crafty and divisive. If an elder going off, do the damn lesson. A brother over here being a homosexual sweet tooth, and he over here the brother or whatever the heck a brother could be doing. He's smoking a big fat blunt. Man, do a lesson about it, man. I ain't gotta say no damn name. Hey, if you want to be straightforward, man, do that. But I'm gonna let you know there's a lot of brothers in this truth and sisters in this truth that could be doing something that you might not see. They could be either smoking weed, they could probably be doing crack, they could be doing coke. That girl could probably be twerking. She probably got her OnlyFans. This nigga probably went back to selling drugs. This man probably could be having sex with Frank Ocean. You never know what niggas could be doing in their damn window. So this is why you try the spirit by the spirit, right? But you want to be humble. You want to be sincere. You want to be gentle. Don't be a gossiper. Don't be talebearer. Don't be pointing the finger. Don't be accusing brothers or sisters of doing something if you don't got the damn proof. We have to come in this ministry to submit to Yahweh Shema Shai and be willing to learn. And the Lord will allow you to be able to see certain things, like he did in Acts with Peter, when Peter seen that Ananias was stealing. I mean, he left some of the money behind. Lord not playing with that, right? So Lord willing, this was edifying. You know me, I don't mind keep going. But do anybody have a precept? Do anybody got a precept? Do they got a question? Do you understand it? If not, If not, we could just end it. You know, a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Prove all things and hold fast to which is good. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the number one thing that's good is the ministry, right? I don't believe that you got to watch everybody to learn the scriptures because everybody ain't teaching the same thing. When I say the same thing, not everybody calling the same name, not everybody is believing in the same prophecies. So at the end of the day, it will pour a lot of confusion, let alone if my wife is watching this dude, both of my wives, what if one is watching this group and then she watching this group and I'm over here watching GMS and we just come together and we do a breakdown, we doing a lesson together and I'm teaching a lesson. Wait, hold on, wait, did you just say, I don't see it like that. Well, how do you see it? Well, I see it like this, King. Blah, 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 blah. How did you get that? Well, I was reading it, and plus I was watching this group, and they was really getting in there. Wait, hold on. You was watching them. Uh, but I'm gonna tell you, you know, because off my doctrine is different than yours, right? But in the household, a woman should be teaching whatever her husband is teaching. So in that same fact, she go here, and I'm going where I'm going. It's going to be confusion. And you don't want confusion in your household. You don't want confusion in your congregation. And we should be teaching one, right? Especially if we're doing unity, you want to teach one. Because if you teach in one, it shouldn't matter where anybody go. Should I go here? Should I go here? Should I go here? It shouldn't matter because if we're teaching all as a body, you can go anywhere you want. But a lot of us is teaching different things. What we want to do. That's why stay in your own lane. It's 4 lanes on the highway. Sometimes it's 3. So if you in this camp, stay your ass over there. If you ain't teaching the same thing, stay your butt over there. You stay over there and you stay over there. Right? Because some of us, it could be one person right here and say we all teaching. Da 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 da. And you teach your da 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 boom boom boom. Camp is over. And you like, yeah, sis, you know, meet up with one of the brothers and get their number. Dang, man, I really wanted her to join our congregation, or I wanted that brother to join our congregation. He looked Mike. No, man, you know, I want him to. I bet you everybody in their mind, while brother's teaching, they see one brother going over here getting their info. These two like, damn, man, why my soldiers couldn't move faster, man? You should have got him, man. That could have been our seed. Or brothers like, you know what, you can have him. You know what I'm saying? Brothers really look at the seed they got to say, look at the fruit that I got. No, it don't work like that, man. Let the spirit be the spirit, man. Let the spirit prove the spirit, man. The spirit is gonna automatically have a person go up. Hey, can I get your number? Because I want to, you know, join the camp. You know what I'm saying? But brothers doing unity camp, then you start looking. Me on the other side, I would have to see what somebody's doctrine is because how you look, you would have to pick whatever one is the best. You know what I'm saying? So discernment, man, discernment is real, man. So if I could do it, you could do it. If you could do it, I damn sure could do it. Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. I am not better than you, and you damn sure not better than me. But with that, it's your brother Dagabar with another one. Lord willing, I could do another one. Lord willing, this was edifying, man, to the hopeful elect. And with that, we're going to say Kwam Yasharella and Shalom.